just tired, like, and we're talking about emotional things, so like, of course I'm gonna be like, it's not always like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? But like, then I start getting in my head, like,
Yeah, you pressing Bieber.
yeah.
Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering.
Yeah, that was low.
That was weird.
That was crazy.
That was weird.
I feel funny. Is this real life?
And you were 14 years old, right?
Actually, I was 13 when this
13.
happened. Yeah, I was 13 and I went over.
Did you feel like that took away from your childhood at all?
No, I was living every day.
So 50 Cent finally decided to break his silence about that incident between Usher and Justin Bieber at Beyonce and Jay-Z's Oscars party. And 50 is not holding back. If anything, it sounds like he's low-key blaming the Carters for the chaos. Basically, 50 is hinting that Beyonce and Jay-Z might have picked up right where Diddy left off with those weird parties where guests are allegedly sipping on who knows what and taking substances regular people have never even heard of. And once fans noticed the guest list for the Carters party was basically Diddy's old inner circle, the speculation exploded. And now a lot of people are convinced that Beyonce and Jay-Z are running the exact same playbook as Diddy. But that's not even the worst part, because 50 Cent is also calling out Usher and alleging that he's responsible for whatever Diddy did to Justin. So now everyone's asking, what the hell actually went down at that party? And more importantly, what horrific things did Diddy do to Justin that would make Usher want to threaten him into silence? Let's break it down.
Signing the bad boy.
Bad boy.
Alright, so as you all probably heard by now, Usher and Justin Bieber went for each other's necks at Beyonce and Jay-Z's annual Gold Party. Apparently, that night Justin and Usher crossed paths for the first time in years, and things got tense. According to sources close to Justin, Usher approached him with energy and anger, leading to a heated verbal exchange. Some eyewitnesses even claimed it turned into a fistfight, although one source close to Usher said he actually held himself back out of respect for Jay-Z and Beyonce as hosts. Another insider told the Daily Mail that Usher feels Justin's behavior of late, and in particular on the night, has been out of line. However, a second source denied Justin was disrespectful and added that what Usher is taking as disrespect may actually be him feeling guilty or ashamed. And that's actually the dark part, because we're hearing from multiple sources that Justin feels Usher failed him during those early Diddy years. In fact, one source said Justin feels taken advantage of. Now, when we hear Justin feels taken advantage of, you might think he just means business-wise, like bad contracts, money issues, and the usual Hollywood mess where young stars get chewed up and spit out by the industry. And that's definitely part of it, because Justin already confirmed he's considering suing his former management team for wasting his money. But that's not the whole story. 50 Cent just broke his silence on this drama, and he claims that taken advantage of, in this context, means something much darker. Basically, 50 is alleging that when Usher handed a teenage Justin over to Diddy, it wasn't just a handoff between music mentors. He's implying something disturbing went down during those infamous 48 hours when Diddy had custody of a 15-year-old Bieber. 50 posted this AI-generated photo of Justin confronting Usher at Beyonce and Jay-Z's party, and he wrote in the caption, "I was a baby. Why you let him do that to me?" What? That's what I thought when I saw this picture. But that's not all. 50 also reacted to the news that Diddy may face new charges soon, and allegedly, he already started putting together material for a documentary sequel that could include Jay-Z and Beyonce. Also, if you remember last month, after those DOJ files mentioned Jay-Z, 50 already said he might have to make a whole documentary about Beyonce and her big-lipped husband. Mind you, 50 already warned us that Beyonce is not all that she seems, and she even tried to jump her once.
They got all the trophies, man. That's because he signed that contract.
What contract?
The one with Beyonce.
The Beyonce done ran down on you once, Fifth. Come on.
She did worse. She jumped off the thing, off the ledge. I was like, oh, I didn't really know what to do. Envy, look.
Beyonce jumped down on you.
She jumped down. Oh, she was like on a windowsill.
Right.
We was in Vegas. She said, come on, I'm talking to her. She jumped out, she was like, duh, duh, duh. And I'm like, wait, what is she doing?
And now, with all this Justin, Usher, and Diddy drama coming back up, people close to 50 are saying he's trying to figure out the best move, whether to go after the Carters directly or pull them into a sequel about Diddy and the whole Bieber situation. Either way, 50 is clearly cooking something up. And for those who don't know, 50 and Justin go way back, and 50 has a long track record of publicly defending Justin whenever he got into trouble. Every time people people would attack Justin over something, 50 would jump in to defend him and remind everyone that Justin was thrown into the industry when he was way too young. In one interview with The Sun, 50 said, "I don't think Justin even knows who he is at this point. He's so young. When you see people become huge stars real early, it's tough for them." And then when the whole Diddy situation exploded, 50 alleged on several occasions that Diddy did something to Justin and may have even passed him around to his industry friends. Now, as for Usher, it's a totally different vibe. 50 already made it clear he's not a fan of Usher, and he'd often bring up that whole puffy flavor camp situation in interviews and on social media. But here's the thing with Usher. Fans are not sure how to feel about his role in all this because it appears he was also a victim when he was Justin's age. So that's why some fans are defending him and saying he was also probably traumatized by Diddy and felt like he had no choice. Usher was only 10 when he joined an R&B group called New Beginnings, but things took a turn when Usher's mom, Janetta, stepped in and pulled him out of the scene. However, Janetta never really explained why. She just said that Usher had a bad experience. Now here's where it gets disturbing. So we know Usher was 10 when he joined New Beginnings. And if you remember, Diddy said in that interview with Kevin Hart that he and Usher used to wake up together and wrestle when Usher was 10. So it makes you wonder if this was the bad experience Jonetta was referring to.
I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the f did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid.
But here's the thing. Despite whatever Usher witnessed or experienced during that time, his mother didn't pull him out of the industry. Instead, she let him audition for L.A. Reid, and Reid signed him on the spot. And almost immediately after that, Reid handed a young Usher over to Diddy. In fact, Usher was just 14 years old when Diddy took him as his +1 to the Soul Train Music Awards. So the pattern started early, and it looks like the adults in Usher's life failed to protect him. Now, on the other hand, many fans feel like this is not an excuse for what Usher later allegedly allowed Diddy to do to Justin Bieber. They're saying Usher had the responsibility to protect Justin precisely because he knew what Diddy was like. Usher even famously said he would never let his own kid stay at Puffy Flavor Camp.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
See?
Which means he was aware that that environment wasn't appropriate or safe for someone Justin's age. But here's where it gets even weirder. When Usher appeared on Club Shay Shay in February 2024, just months after Cassie filed her lawsuit against Diddy, he did a complete 180 and started praising Diddy, saying Puffy Flavor Camp was one of the best. This interview went viral. Many fans called out Usher for siding with Diddy, and they speculated that Usher was maybe being blackmailed with some tapes. But here's where it gets even darker. Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal then came forward claiming that back in the day, he witnessed Usher being taken to a hospital after Diddy did something to him at Puffy Flavor Camp. And then Gene called out Usher for praising Diddy in that Club Shay Shay interview. And he claimed that even Usher's mom knows what happened at Diddy's camp.
The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp? And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Damn, man, and you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
So, hearing all this, the only thing we know for sure is that the whole industry is a cesspool. The way the system is set up is designed to target young artists, chew them up, and then turn them into accomplices. Everyone's blackmailing everyone. People are traumatized, victimized, scared to speak out. Overall, it's just tragic for all those young artists who got sucked into the industry or were pushed into it by their fame-crazy parents. But I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think Usher is partially to blame for what Diddy allegedly did to Justin? And what about Jay-Z and Beyonce? Do you agree with 50 Cent that they're not so innocent in this either? Drop your comments below and stay tuned for the next video.